Yes, I hope you guys like that commercial right there. That is from my homegirl Taylor right here on the show. But welcome to Speak on the Chop of the Barbershop Talk. I am your host, Annie B. Yes, and this is the home of real talk, expressive conversation, where we talk about what we want, when we want, and how we want. So yes, once again, today I got my girl Taylor in the building, Plant Plug LA. Come on, Taylor, introduce these people to yourself.
What's up? Welcome. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, so I am Taylor. I go by Taylor Lindsay. Also, I go by The Plug. I also accept Cash App and Venmo.
Yes.
So what I do is I sell plants and I sell plant accessories. I am central to South Central. I'm centralized in South Central. That's where my parents graciously allowed me to convert their backyard into a miniature farm, as you saw in the video earlier. Mm-hmm. We run our own little chicken farm. We have our own eggs. If you need eggs, I got you. I also lead with education before sales more than anything. So I teach every single demographic, every single age about organic gardening, aka urban farming. I'm not really a fan of the term urban because we all know what that means.
Yes, definitely do. Don't put me in a category, right? Right.
But just living in the city, the concrete jungle, trying to get food through the cracks.
Right.
So I show people that this greenwashing movement is a whole facade that we can access, fall in love, reconnect, plug into community by the means of growing our own food.
Right. So what can you tell someone out there who actually would like to grow their own food but don't really have too much space in Los Angeles, California?
Actually, funny you ask. I specialize in balconies, back porches, backyards, alleys. You know, if it's up your alley, I love an alley. We can make it happen. Start with one plant.
Right.
Start with one plant because I managed to kill everything. Mm-hmm. I'm very blessed, and I'm very grateful that I have the space to do it. But to be honest with you, I started my business on my parents' back porch.
Right.
And my mom was like, when are you going to clean up this mess? That was the first thing she said.
Right. She was like, it's not a mess. It's my dream.
It's my dream, Mom. Don't mess with me, Mom. You don't understand me.
Right.
Yeah. So start with one plant and just connect with it. Love it. When somebody has a small space, mm-hmm. I usually suggest, especially if there's low light, no light, or pets, mm-hmm. too. Cats love to tear through your stuff, by the way.
Yes, they do.
They do. Excuse me. Peppers,
right.
Collards.
Okay.
Kale.
Right.
Start with one. And I have I was connected with a lot of great people during the Corona shutdown. Mm-hmm. There's a woman I talk about every time. Her name is Miss Gigi. She actually lives, we actually live off of Florence, Vermont. So we're really trying to do some stuff over there. Shout out Miss Gigi. She managed to get the entire apartment building on board. So, you know, like those old school apartments from the 70s or like, you know, like the apartment they had in like Baby Boy where Jody was walking up and you see the whole thing. And they have that walkway.
Yes.
She filled up that whole walkway with plants.
Right.
All her neighbors are on deck now because of her.
And that's what I wanted to ask, because I was going to say, how do you get people who are interested in planting or even into, I mean, they may be interested in, you know, plants and, you know, that stuff, but it's just more of how do you get them to want to change their eating habits so much to where they can continuously do that for a purpose.
Right.
Because some people may, you know how to do it, but, they probably use it to sell or something like that to make profit from.
Right.
But how do you convince them to say, hey, instead of just trying to make profit from this, try to teach your children, you know, how to intake this and eat these type of plants and vegetables and fruits.
Right. So I will say, I believe it's harder for adults to convert their diet than it is for children. And please believe, I still tear up Takis on the regular basis.
Right,
like, okay. They're vegan, by the way, if anybody cares.
Yeah. Okay, really?
Yeah, Takis are vegan.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, so what makes Takis vegan? Okay, wait, we're going to get back to that.
Yeah, we're going to get back to that, too.
But we're going to wonder.
But yeah. I incorporate. It's about the connectivity that happens.
Right.
The fruit of your labor. At first, I thought it was weird because I was like, it's kind of like me eating my children. You're not supposed to eat your kids. Right. But it's like I saw that plant through seed.
Right.
So I'm going to find a way to throw it in there. Mm-hmm. You know? And also another thing is like, I learned the origins and the ethnic tie-ins to food as like, why is it a stereotype for this demographic to eat this or eat that? So once I got into that too, it was just like I was completely immersed into like that single plant, mind, body, and soul. Right. Like if you want to, we can do a whole hour on on soul food and the origins of that.
Right.
Or why watermelon is such a derogatory stereotype towards black people. Short answer, because it was a crash crop for us first, and the haters, the haters we're mad about it.
Right.
That's it. We were making so much money off of watermelon and having a good old time.
Right.
Yeah.
To where they took it away from you and then created a whole little
stereotype around it. Yeah. And
funny.
We could talk about the ice cream truck song and all that
oh,
too.
It's
a
a
whole
know
thing.
about
Yeah.
that one
So,
too. It's just,
yeah. Wait till you see me in my truck.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He said we ain't finna bump that type of music. Okay, you gonna know what it mean, all right?
Right.
And look, it's gonna go directly to us.
I'll
y'all.
take that mixtape, by the way.
And that's real. So back to Takis. How is Takis vegan? Like I don't get it. Cause I be telling my kid like, no, don't eat that. It's gonna burn your stomach. It's gonna burn your stomach.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're not from Frito-Lay. They're by the Bimbo Company, which is a Latin American bread, like the Wonder Bread.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So they actually manufacture Takis.
Oh, okay.
So Takis is just mostly like a chili and lime mixture with a bunch of red 40 rolled up in a fried tortilla.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is red 40? Do you know what that is? It's like a
food dye.
coloring.
It's a food dye. Okay. But the interesting thing, when you get into like American agriculture as well as the things that the FDA allow and so forth, it's so mind-blowing. Once you get past the initial disgust and trauma of it all, it's so mind-blowing. Like, I usually smile when things are really, really bad because it's just a habit of mine. Yeah. But, so back in the day, which is not that long ago,
right?
Red food coloring actually used to be crushed up bugs.
I mean, I seen that. I seen that in one of China's documentaries. They have a lot of that. What is it? Crickets, grasshoppers, stuff like that. You know
I've eaten them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So in certain cultures, you can eat bugs. It's very open.
Really.
But the fact is that it's being used as a byproduct that's unknown to us.
Okay.
That's the crazy part in America.
Oh, okay.
And also, raspberry flavoring used to be beaver anal secretions.
Are you I was about to say fucking. Are you fucking serious? No, what? Are you serious?
Yeah, once you plug in, you know, like you got your eyes open and you're just learning all this stuff about the food that we eat and we consume, and also about American legislation allowing that and how lobbyists are allowing these things to happen. So another thing that was passed was people didn't want to hear it from me at the time because I was vegan. I'm like, no, I care about y'all. That's why I want it. If you eat meat, fine.
Eat it, right.
If you drink liquor, cool. You know what I'm saying? But let me know.
Right.
Let me know if you want to know what's in it.
Right.
So, if you're going to drink liquor, don't drink Cuervo Gold Tequila. It's not aged well, it's dyed. Oh. If you're going to eat meat, make sure that you're getting the best cuts you can because it's also dyed.
Yeah,
Meat, when it starts to go bad, immediately turns gray because the blood runs out of it. But the same thing, too. B12, when they're like, oh, you can't get your B12 as vitamins, vitamins as a vegan, same thing for meat eaters. It's just that it's injected in the livestock.
Right. Yeah. Because that's what I try to tell a lot of meat eaters. And, I'm a meat eater as well. I haven't gotten to the point where I just stopped. I'll eat something here and there. You know, I catch a burger here and there, but then I really like seafood. So it's really bad for me, and I know that's the worst.
Oh, yes. You know, I'm Creole. Please believe. Yes, we eat the bottom of the sea.
Yeah, so I'm like, I understand.
It's so delicious.
It really is. So, I mean, I understand that whole thing, too. So from that point, it's just like, you know, just changing up, really changing up what I eat and trying to get people to understand that, hey, listen, everything that we eat or whatever like that, it sometimes derives from like an emotional standpoint of what we had going on when we were children. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because that's why sometimes I'll eat some meat or sometimes I'll binge on some type of chocolate or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like a childhood thing. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it like in reality, I don't really know how to go back and I can go back and forth, but I don't know how to really just change all the way. You get what I'm saying when it comes down to eating just straight vegan or something like that. You know what I mean? Right. So I don't know. What I recommend people to do is like you said, one step it.
One step, gradual reintroduction, have a new experience with it, have a new way of connecting with it, and that's what I'm trying to do with these plants.
Right. So what is one of your favorite plants to actually grow, to get people to know about, let them know what the usage of the plant is for? What is one of your favorites?
Ooh, my favorite is cucumbers and watermelon. Those would be like my top two because just the watermelon alone. I sold vitamins for 6 years. I was in the supplement industry for about 6 years. Okay. So I'm telling you, it's all relative. Right. So when it comes to watermelon, if I can grow one successfully, especially with watermelon, they have to be at least in 60 to 80 degree temperatures at all times to grow. See, because I got real bold this year and tried to grow watermelon in February. You can't do that. Oh, right. But just from the abundance that watermelon has, even down to the rind, is just so bountiful. Now, seeded if you can get it, right?
Right.
So I sell seeded watermelons.
Oh, please, thanks.
Not the whole melon, but I do sell the watermelon plant that will produce that.
Okay.
And the thing about it, too, is that the citrulline is the main component in watermelon, and the lycopene, which makes it red, helps with the heart, helps with blood flow, helps with male sexual health. It's called
Really?
a vasodilator, which helps with expanding the blood vessels. You can use your imagination for the rest of that.
Right.
So,
men out there, if you have a problem with erection, and you might just want to, do something for yourself. Might want to drink some watermelon juice.
just eat a whole
a watermelon
straight to the face.
Just eat it. You know what I mean?
I was driving up Arlington the other day, and this man was sitting at the bus stop tearing up a watermelon on a hot day, like just ripping into it, and he looked so happy and at peace.
Right.
Like you couldn't tell him anything.
You know what? I kind of like, to take that back to the slavery times and to say how we used to make so much money off of watermelon, but then to see how people used to say, oh, they really disliked our African American men due to the size of certain things.
Oh.
I wonder, did they stop them from having melon because of that situation? Like, oh my God, these dudes are eating this stuff and it's making them bigger. You know what I'm saying?
Ma'am.
I wonder if there's something like that.
Ma'am, I did not ever put those two things together.
Because
until
I'm
now.
like,
No, because I remember learning about the markets and the auctions,
Right.
and they would actually make fun of the men because of their appendages. Same thing
Yep.
with the women. So
Yep.
they had it going on, but
you selling that product and you eating that product and you making
the
that product.
virility of it all, the virility.
Come on now.
The virility.
See? But I be trying to figure stuff out too. I'm like, did that go together? They stopping this for.
Yeah, and the thing about it was it's highly triggering. And I've had clients like that tell me they purposely, or not purposely, they will intentionally not buy certain plants from me because of the trauma attached to it.
Uh-huh.
And people would tell me at a young age racism didn't exist, and to get over it. And I'm like, by the way, this wasn't that long ago.
It sure wasn't.
Yeah, and
Yes.
you want me to talk about how your Irish ancestors and had dreadlocks. No, they didn't, by the way.
Right.
But you want me to remember that from like 16 AD.
Uh-huh.
But if I try to talk about something that happened in 1954, I need to shut up.
Right.
So,
right.
yeah.
Talk about it.
One of my clients had cotton seeds.
Really? See, I had a person, look, one of my friends, she, her grandmother was from Memphis, Tennessee. No, Mississippi. She's from Mississippi. I think she was from Montgomery. No, somewhere. I don't know. She was from Mississippi somewhere in Mississippi. I forgot. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if it was it Alabama? Well, I don't know, but she went to a cotton field.
Montgomery's Alabama, yeah.
No, but I don't know if it was Montgomery or not. I don't know if I'm mixing the conversations. You know what I'm saying? Somebody told me this from Montgomery. Somebody said
Deep South.
Mississippi.
Deep
She's
South.
from the South.
Deep
somewhere.
South. Deep South.
I'm not sure. I can't pinpoint the place that she said exactly, but I know she went to a cotton field. And she told me that her grandmother was like, if you can, pick cotton, I'll give all y'all $20. You know what I'm saying? And this was to the grandkids in the car. And they, oh yeah, I'm about to pick the cotton and stuff like that. And she told me, she goes, I went down and picked that cotton. She said, man, it had like some type of prickly thorns. She said, it stuck the shit out of me. She said,
right.
I could not pick the cotton. She was like, me and my cousins was going around just like trying to pick the cotton, trying to make this $20. And my grandma she said her grandmother said to them, see, you guys wouldn't even made it back in my time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if that hurt, you know what I'm saying, you don't know what we went through.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, I said, you couldn't pick the cotton? And she was like, man, it just had too much prickly stuff inside of it. I'm like, we do sound like straight weak individuals after a while.
But look at how stern it made those generations.
Yes.
That pull yourself up by the bootstraps, but we don't have boots to begin with mentality.
Yep.
And it made our ancestors and our grandparents and our parents hard as stone.
Yes.
To where if we were to rest, take naps, even like ask for help, go to therapy and get on some medication, we seem weak and just not. People weren't meant to live like that.
Yeah,
that's the whole
really
point.
Weren't.
And now that we have more, I guess, privilege, for lack of a better word, but because of what they went through, we have more freedoms per se. It just seems like, oh, you guys are soft and things like that. And I'm like, I get where you're coming from, but
yeah, because it's true. Because I couldn't see myself. I mean, like, like you said, that's where I grew up in the 80s. You know, I was born in 87.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, so you know how it was. Look, you know how it was back in the day when your parents be like, it's always something to do. And you're like, dude, like, why are y'all so strict on us doing something when we're just chilling out watching TV right now? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, no, you have something to do. It's always something to do. Then it's like, if we sit in the house too long, she's just making something happen. I'm like, dude, why can't you just sit down? But it was more me going back in the day, listening to my grandparents talk and everything. It's like, dude, you guys had productive days.
Right.
You guys were. I said it was so productive into a point to where she woke up this morning and just walked to school and had to walk back home.
Right.
That's how
they
productive.
had no choice.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, you walked how many miles?
Yeah, they had no choice. They had no choice. They had you had to make do with what you had, and it just got worse and worse and worse.
Right.
You know, to where my parents and your parents were able to get a little bit more leverage in the situation, whether it be financially, educationally. Like my mom was the first to go to college in her family.
Oh, congratulations!
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I got to see that growing up. You know what I'm saying? Whether we get degrees or not, it doesn't matter. We still showing up. C's get degrees, y'all.
Okay.
C's get degrees.
Okay.
Don't forget that. You
Stop
know,
playing.
Sally Mae does not stop calling you
Okay.
either. So just remember that if you're gonna get into college. But nonetheless, yeah. So getting into plants, everything stabs you. By the way, cucumbers will stab you.
Okay,
they're full of spikes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you get to the grocery store, it's actually a 5-step process from farm to table.
Oh.
And everybody and their mama has touched your food. And it's going in your mouth, and most likely it's coated in wax, and it's pre-washed, pre-processed, and you don't know what has happened to it whatsoever.
Right.
And that's another thing, getting into studying agriculture and how food's supposed to look. And I'm not talking about like historical, what things look, because a lot of our food now is hybrid.
Mm-hmm. It sure
like,
is.
have you looked about OG watermelon?
I actually have seen an OG.
It looks
watermelon.
like another dimension. It looks like a portal into another dimension.
Yep.
It's like 4 little swirls, right?
Uh-huh.
But then if you look at a watermelon now, they managed to make it to where it doesn't even have seeds. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel you. It was definitely, like you say, they're cloning different things. You know what I mean? Everything is just like, processed. Even when I seen the fish, that they have this little fish pond that they create these tilapia fish and everything. I'm like, what the hell? You know?
Yes, and some grocery stores actually use prison labor to farm that fish.
Yeah, I actually seen that as well. They use a lot of stuff for prison labor, man. Shout out to the prisoners, man. They making license plates. They making, tables. They making all kind of different shit out here.
I have a story about that. So I'm currently legitimizing my business, getting more presence. I'm working on getting my car wrapped and everything, getting a little plug mobile together. You know, so it took a year, but I got my plant plug license plate. Okay. And it hits different when you have a custom license plate, especially on a car in California. Okay. So I got plant plug, and they're like, oh, due to COVID, where we had to slow down production, but your plant plug plate is on the way. Say that 3 times fast. Yeah. Okay. So I got it. It took a year. I finally got it. And I was like, hey, I appreciate what y'all did. I got the notice in March, but it's May. What happened to my plate? And they're like, oh, we had to pause production in Folsom.
And you're like, oh.
Folsom.
Like, that's the jail.
Johnny Cash Folsom?
Uh-huh.
Folsom prison? And she's like, yeah, you know about Johnny Cash? I'm like, ma'am, let's focus here.
Let's focus here.
You guys are still using prison labor?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's still the chain gang out here.
2 cents an hour?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say a chain gang in LA, but there's still a chain gang in the world.
Yeah. And we have the most private. I think California is the state with the most privatized prisons.
Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah, and the fact that you can get a privatized prison means that you can get that government money. And the thing about it is that how I speak today, it's like we've been conditioned to believe that having any type of thought outside of what's right in front of us is considered a conspiracy. Yep. It's not a conspiracy if it's public knowledge.
Yep. And the same thing, if you grew up in the black community and anything you thought was wrong or thought outside the box of, you felt like it was wrong. They felt like it was wrong, or AKA you went against the grain or whatever.
Weirdo, crazy.
Yeah. But in reality, it's like this. Have you ever thought to think of something else that you've been taught? Like if you're a Christian, why I think that you can be a Christian, but have you ever thought, let me see what Buddhists study? You know what I mean? Just study it. You know what I mean? You don't have to convert over to it.
Not.
Just know it. You know what I mean? Same thing as just learning anything. You know what I mean? I say if you know a little bit of something, you can have a conversation with anybody.
About anything.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you can.
About anything. So from that point, if you just learn something, it's just like, come on, man. Come on, it's not, don't get mad when someone bring up a different conversation that you're not aware of. Put it like that.
And I've faced that a lot too, especially. It's so weird though. Whenever I was talking, like I can go anybody that's black, me included. I can talk to them about issues that plague us from the outside in.
There you go.
But if I talk about issues that plague us from the inside out that we're doing to ourselves, oh my God.
Because everybody has that insecurity inside, and they don't want to be looked at as the bad person or the person who is being critiqued.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, oh, don't look at me. But it's like when I deal with African American, when I deal with our people, it's kind of like a lot of contradictions. It's like, dude, did you contradict yourself, dude?
Right.
You just said you didn't want that, but you do. What's up? You know what I mean? You don't plan to that, but you will.
Right. And that's the thing. It's just like, I think anything that has seen successes and phenomenal progress, it's always an inside job. Mm-hmm. And James Baldwin has said many times. On. I know, right? Here we go.
Hey, I love it. I love the intellect. I love how smart you are and the choice words that you use and things like that, because I do have a lot of people who don't really know. When I do have conversations, it'd be like, damn, you don't even really know about that, so we have to skip on over and talk about something like, Kevin Hart or Jamie Foxx.
Can we not?
Yeah, and it's like we can't have really open dialogue about certain things because people aren't aware. But I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Well, we could talk about Jamie Foxx and his education, and we could talk about his impact on 90s sitcoms and black comedy.
There you go.
And just etching his space in their areas. I would love to talk about Juilliard.
Right.
But when it comes to what James Baldwin said, he said to love someone, and I'm paraphrasing, excuse me. He said to love someone is to make them aware of the things that they don't know.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
So to me, if I go back and forth with somebody, it's not to be right or wrong.
Right.
It's to better understand them. Mm-hmm. Because to be wrong is an opportunity.
Right.
Not dead wrong, though. My ego can't take that. But to be slightly incorrect.
Okay, let's say, like, dude, I am not wrong. I look it up. That's how I be sometimes too, for real.
Yeah.
Look that up.
I totally understand that. So, just even with the train of conversation that we're having now, you can go and jump back from 30 minutes in to 3 minutes in and still not skip a beat because it's all relative.
Exactly.
It's all relative. How can, in five sentences or less, how can I connect James Baldwin's teachings to cucumbers? Mm-hmm. What we just did.
Yeah, because it's love.
Yeah, and I want to teach you more about cucumbers and what they provide too.
Passion.
They're 70% water, by the way. Mm-hmm. The seed collection on that is very easy. They're actually supposed to be covered in spikes, and you're supposed to milk your cucumbers before eating them. Did you know that?
No, tell us.
So they're pre-milked when you get them from the grocery store. Okay. So what you do is you cut off the tip of a cucumber, and then you just rub it together in a circular motion very aggressively. I'm making the sound.
Okay.
And then you will have all this white foam come out of it. It actually removes the bitterness from your fruit. And in fact, all vegetables are technically fruits. The term vegetable was created by an agency to coin certain things. So actually, technically, everything we eat is a fruit.
Check that out. Yeah. Look, get you some knowledge today, okay?
And milk those cucumbers.
And milk the cucumbers. Okay, so you said it just gives a different type of taste.
Takes away all the bitterness.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, but I like the bitter taste of the pickle.
That's the vinegar and the brine.
Okay,
that's different. Okay. And you can also, there's different types of. Okay, the thing about cucumbers and pickling is also a survivalist skill.
Okay.
And it's a way to preserve your food for months, if not years. And you can do actually a blanch with a hot vinegar brine, or you can do what's called an icebox cucumber, where you literally just drop the cucumbers in a jar with like peppercorns, garlic, whatever flavoring, dill, and then just leave it in there. It won't permeate as much, but everything will be completely raw, depending on your diet and your dietary needs. See, but I got a little wild last year, so I had like 2 cucumbers and 4 zucchinis because my zucchinis were popping.
Right.
You don't have to blanch zucchinis. They soak everything up and stay crispy.
Okay.
It's like a pickle.
Okay.
I actually I didn't know what I was doing. I made Taki zucchini pickles.
Are you serious? So you're spicy. You like spicy foods.
I'm a mess.
Yeah, see, I had to stop eating spicy foods, man. I got acid reflux now.
Oh, no.
It's diverticulitis is real. I be in the hospital like, oh, my God, give me morphine. My boyfriend be like, you don't ask for morphine? I'm like, please give me morphine.
Give me morphine.
I don't recommend anybody do that.
Please
so
give
if you
me
don't
morphine.
eat that type of thing, and if you eat a lot of high spicy foods and stuff like that and tell you don't eat them, just don't eat them, seriously.
Yeah. If you can't, if you shouldn't. And also I had to take a step back too, because I didn't know what GERD was until like 2 months ago. Stress can trigger GERD.
Oh.
And then you become a whole different person because your acid reflux is so off the chain that you feel like you're choking.
Yeah. Because look, you know what it is? Yeah, I felt that before.
It's bad.
And then it's somewhat to the point where you start, because I have it so bad, I start throwing up the lining in my damn stomach. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, whew, it is bad.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
No.
But beyond that, what actually started you into, wanting to just grow plants? You know what I mean? Because that's not something like typical, like, our teenagers. We're like, okay, growing up in the 80s and the 90s.
What were we doing as teenagers?
We were probably like playing
what
basketball.
Was big in
watching.
2005?
2005 was, what was big? Clown dancing.
Oh, actually, I lived down the street
Crumping.
from Tommy the Clown for the longest time. I did not know it. It was crumping.
That was that. And then, we thought we were older, so we began to hyphy movement. E40.
Hyphy was fun.
That's what it was.
I felt
E40.
like... Because I was really big into punk and metal in high school, but I felt like hyphy was a cross of punk culture and hip hop.
Yep.
And I went to Oakland during that time, and let me tell you, there was nothing like it. Like,
I wish I would have
every
been down
record
there.
store had a hyphy section.
I wish I would experience that.
I was out there for like 2 days. I didn't even know where I was or nothing, but like I didn't know up from down in Oakland, but I was just like, wow. I was 19. I remember that, but I just felt like there was just this cross where hyphy just crossed all lines, and you can just be dumb and da 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 da. I mean, like, people call me dumb, but now it has a purpose.
Yep,
you know what I'm saying?
doodle dumb. You know what I mean?
Like doo doo dumb.
People don't really know about all that. See, these kids today, I don't know. They have the emo rap and they have the drill music and all that stuff like that.
I just found out what drill was.
Yeah.
I did not know that was like. Yeah, because I kind of fell off during the mumble rap era, and then I got really big into Patti LaBelle.
Yeah,
I sure
love
did.
Patti. But see, I'm a Whitney fan. I love Whitney, girl. I cried at her funeral. Okay.
I had the pleasure. I got fired from a job that day. My mom got me an extra ticket because I missed a family outing because I had to get fired. She got me an extra ticket to go see I called it the Whitney musical. It was actually the Bodyguard the musical at what's it called? The Pantages. Was it Pantages? Yeah.
Lucky you.
Okay, I had front row seats. God bless my mother. She knows how to do it.
Shout out to your mom.
I know. Shout out to my mom. And I had my seat, and let me tell you, the understudy played that night because actually Deborah Cox is supposed to be front and center. She didn't make it that day.
Okay.
So the understudy. She looked like Whitney. She sounded like Whitney. She even had the mannerisms. You know how Whitney goes ooh with her fingers.
Yeah.
She had it. Her tone was a little different. And then there's a woman that I sat next to, and she's like, "Oh, you want some gummy worms?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm good. I'm fine, thank you."
Right.
So then I went from that to focusing on the show. I look over at her 30 minutes in. She's bawling the whole time.
I mean, Whitney do that to you.
That was Whitney the musical.
And then even with someone capturing her moments in her spirit, it's like, bro, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
That's hard to do.
Hey, Cam, you do me a favor? Look, I'm going to tell you something. Inside the studio, it's getting a little bit hot. We're going to open the door or something.
Open the door.
Yeah. But beyond plants and stuff like that, what else are you into? Just growing up in LA, just being a typical LA, you know what I'm saying, native.
How do we even categorize that anymore? I feel like all of us are into 5 different things at once.
Yeah.
I was a percussionist in high school, so I haven't played in a long time. I have the dustiest drum set. I haven't played in a long time. I've just been such a music fan. I found there's a big difference between being a musician and a music fan, if that makes sense. Because I always looked at things from a musician's lens, which made me very jaded and critical. And it kind of makes things not fun.
Right.
As fun. Because somebody would be like, this music's great. I'm like, this is garbage.
Right.
And, and so I had to take a step back, and I just became a music fan. The more I stopped playing music, the less critical theory I applied,
Right.
So I just started listening to music like crazy. I got super, super heavy into 80s and 90s R&B, so I'm glad you brought up Miss Mother Whitney. And then I got into powerlifting.
Yeah?
I got into powerlifting for about a year. I've been weight training for about 8 years now.
That's dope.
Yeah, I work at a gym till this day.
Serious?
Yes, I do, yeah.
That's
a little
dope.
commercial gym. What's up, Inglewood? Come check me out. Like, I can't do anything for you. I can't get you in for free, but I work there if you want to look at my face.
Yeah, okay. Look, she can train you a little something. I'll tell you, hey, get this package.
Yeah. And then I got really big into supplements. Like I said, anything you have or want to prevent, there is an herb for it.
Yes.
So that's what I studied, but that's what the companies didn't like, because I would get my critique and my about my quarterly performance, like whatever. And the biggest complaint every time with my last 4 employers was like, you're great with customers, but you talk too much.
Right, because you're not selling the product.
No.
Oh, you're just talking to the client too
Yeah.
long. Oh, like, you have them in the store all day.
By the name, her name is Laura. She has 2 kids,
right.
And this is what she wants. So she bought what she wants. She left with it. I'm not trying to upsell her eight things and sell her new car.
Right.
She just wanted something for her arthritic You know, her family suffers from RA, so I gave her some turmeric and sent her on her way. Damn.
Ain't that funny though when they tell you to upsell and to sell certain things, and then you start talking, they're like, "Okay, you're talking too much." Like, how the hell,
ma'am,
how the hell,
ma'am?
Are you mad that I'm making this many sales?
Right,
okay?
right,
That's
and
crazy.
that's what I implemented in my business now.
Right.
Also, entrepreneurship. They say monetize your hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn how to make a hobby out of my monetization.
Oh, okay.
Because monetizing your hobbies can completely suck the soul out of what you love to do.
Right.
Especially with, under the guise of capitalism. But I made it a hobby to teach other people how to do what I do.
Right.
Because no matter what it is you do, there's only one you.
Okay.
And the thing about it is that whole millennial rise and grind, I feel like that's really being shoved down our throats now, especially on social media, like how they tell us to get LLCs and all that. Do not do that, by the way.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah,
I
unless
don't
you're
have
making $10K a year in revenue, do not get an LLC.
Come on.
Especially in California. That's one of the
I try
biggest
to tell people
burdens.
that all the time.
Don't do that.
See, I have a sole proprietorship at the moment. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, what's up?
So I know the whole thing. I'm not finna pay that 800 right now.
800 plus fees.
Come on.
You know?
And I don't have no assets for it to even
Right,
come
exactly.
on back.
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
A lot of people do that. They'd be like, well, it doesn't matter if you have assets. I say, you guys got to do your
And
research.
they're like, pay your children. Pay my children.
Like, come
They
on.
better pay my children.
Stop.
No, I understand. There's a tax code. We can learn it, but slow down.
Slow
So
down.
what I came to do was, especially during the Corona shutdown, I started teaching free classes to friends on how to invest. I was talking to your friend earlier about crypto.
Right.
I was talking about Forex and
Yeah. What's your favorite on that when we think about it? Like, do you really like the stock market, or do you like to do like day trading more? So, you know what I mean?
Oh, so day trading is actually within the stock market and with crypto. It's actually a style.
Okay.
So day trading is a style, long term is a style, retirement is a form. They're all different forms that can happen within the same within the same market.
Okay.
The thing about Forex is that Forex is a foreign exchange market, which is like, okay, I turn euros into dollars,
Exactly.
but you have to be on there live all the time. It's a type of day trading. It's just the thing that there's so much gatekeeping to where it became an MLM. That's marketed to us like crazy, to where somebody has you pay them $250 just to learn the basic skills that you can learn for free.
Right.
How did I learn everything I know today?
Right. Exactly. Studying. Okay.
Yes,
And that's
independent study.
Whoa. I mean, we had this conversation the other day because we were talking about people diagnosing themselves. Okay. And it was like my friend, she's like really like a hypochondriac. So where anything happens, she has to go to the doctor. And I'm saying to her, I'm like, there's no reason for you to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you can just calm down, first of all. You know what I mean? Once you calm down, we can be able to have that discussion. One, two, see what your symptoms are, see what's going on with you, and see what we can actually, diagnose you with.
Right.
With our own knowledge. You get what I'm saying? Because it's nothing but a malpractice, and this is what they had to study in order to even get to that point.
Right.
So if we can have the same books and know what they know,
right,
we definitely can be able to take care of ourselves. But a lot of people don't like to read today.
No,
and that's
not.
why they continuously say, if you put it in a book, they'll never know it. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, if you put it in a book, you can hide anything in a book. Everything in a book. Just put it in your house.
Right.
Nobody gonna ever pick that up. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Anybody who comes inside your house, you can have a full bookcase. Put all your money in there. They're not opening them damn books. You see what I'm saying? And it's so sad because it's like, dude, you don't even know the fortune is right there. You get what I mean?
It is. It definitely is. And I'm not a big reader. I'll be honest with you. Like, I didn't start picking up a paper and pen to pencil and reading and writing like basic stuff until maybe like 2013. And I was already 26 at that point. I didn't care about nothing.
Right.
Being 25 was terrible, by the way.
Oh.
I don't recommend it at all. If you could skip that year, please do.
Hats off to 25.
But
do you remember that year?
Yikes.
Yeah.
But the point is that there's a lot of power in independent study. And also, I think it's really important to find what you love to do, but you have to find a way to keep loving it.
Right.
So when people tell me, like, I always have, like, 3 jobs at once, I forget because only one of them feels like a job at this point.
Right.
That's the one I have to clock in for and clock out. But at the same time, I'm at my job in an industry that I love so much. So the only time it feels like a job is when things kind of go awry, when somebody starts yelling at me about membership or when something just doesn't go, the job stuff. Like the fact that you have to put a uniform on and stuff. But I love a uniform because it's like, well, when I was a kid, I loved a uniform because you wear the same thing every day and nobody knew the difference. But as an adult, I love a uniform because my outfit's being chosen for me.
Right.
I'm more of a hands-on person. I'm not a big thinker in a sense that, I'll sit somewhere and come up with these ideas. But when it comes to like like
placing and organizing and putting it in
or
perspective.
sitting still. Not my jam.
Yeah.
Not my.
Yeah, so hands-on is what it is. Because a lot of people, either you got a hands-on learner, you got a, what is it, face-to-face, you got to learn by reading,
Yeah,
writing.
some people are auditory.
Yeah,
yeah.
So it's
and
like
knowing how you learn. I'm a hands-on learner, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the thing for me when it comes to what makes me the plug, right?
Right.
It's because I have a network of people. If you need something, I got you.
Right.
But I'm plugging these plants, of course. But it's also about whatever I have going on. It's all about accessibility and application. And I think that's where a lot of people that are selling their products or selling their services are lacking.
Right.
Like-
They're not always accessible.
Like you could buy my ebook, that's fine. Okay, now what?
Right.
Where do you get your stuff from?
Right.
Why do people act like there's not enough for all of us?
You know what? And that's one of the things I say as well. I say it's like 15 different styles of bread. Everybody can get bread.
Everybody can get bread, literally. Like for years.
What are you holding back on? You know what I mean? Seriously, what are you holding back
And it's not
on?
even good bread. Can we
It's
talk
not
about
even
that? It's not even good bread.
Yeah, but see, what I think what that is because a lot of people they lack creativity. So what it is like you can start something and it'll be your creativity, be like, oh my God, that's something cool. And then what happens is somebody learns off of someone that they mimic, and then from that point becomes a star, gets elevated, and then don't want to tell what they got it from because in
Right.
reality they didn't get it from themselves. They actually received it from,
Right.
pretty much like copying, you know what I mean? So it's like, oh, I can't tell you what I know because I actually got it from somebody else. Once I explain this, I can't explain it that well because this person actually explained it to me this way. So it's like, oh, so you really wasn't the creator of that situation that you're doing. No,
Right.
you're just the one who's actually selling it.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just a lot of stuff that what happens with our creations over the years, you know what I mean? When we
Right.
create shit, you know what I mean? Lights, street
It
lights,
just fall because you're going to fall off eventually in a sense that not that you don't have the $1 million backing of studio time and the AR and the producers,
You
you
just
don't
didn't
have
have
nothing
that.
inside
Yep.
of you to where you're cranking out crap.
Yep.
And also it's a carbon copy of the last and you can never mimic your biggest hit.
You
cannot.
can't.
But
Yep.
the interesting thing is like when I got deeper into music, I found out where people got their rap styles from, and you connect other people to other people. I was listening. Right now my biggest thing right now is Texas and Louisiana rap. Even though it's
Okay.
mostly from the 2000s, I don't listen to T.I. Don't bring him up. Even though I.
I fuck with you. Oh my God, I was about to throw you
Even-
into town. Yo. Don't
No,
bring him up,
do
okay?
not we could talk about Little Flip.
Okay, let's do it.
We can do that. But I was noticing, so a lot of these rappers started off as groups because they were all they had.
There you go.
But then you hear where the more popular rappers got their rap style from. So I was listening to Field Mob, Sick of Being Lonely.
Right.
That's a jam.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, wait, he sounds really familiar. Is this Ludacris? Mm-hmm. No.
Who do you look? I went and listened to Lil Wayne. I was just listening to 504 Boys the other day.
Right.
The Block is Hot and everything, right? And I'm listening to Turk, and I'm like, oh, Lil Wayne is Turk. Oh boy.
Right.
That was it, because I was like, Turk is in a group and Lil Wayne was rapping, but it was more like that's what pushed his rap to go even harder because you got someone that's even that's
Right.
on the same level as you. So I'm like, damn, he sound exactly like Turk to me. And then boom, Turk is no longer. And then you hear Lil Wayne all this time. You have nobody to reference to, and these kids today don't even know who the hell.
Yeah,
I'm
and you can get
talking
away with
about.
that.
Yeah,
especially where we're at a point in age where that generational gap has happened.
Oh, it
so
has.
anybody under 20, I could play a Whitney Houston sample for them, and it could be a top 10 hit, and I just have to put my name on it. You won't even know.
They do not
You
know.
won't even know. And actually, it happened right now. You
Yep.
know, like posthumous. When somebody dies, their catalog becomes
Epic.
crazy,
Epic.
crazy
Yep.
valuable,
epic. And that's why I
Crazy
say about the girl.
valuable.
What's the new singer right now? Her name is Naomi or something like that.
Normani?
Naomi or Normani. That's her name?
I don't know who you're
It's a
talking
girl
about.
named Naomi. It's a girl named Naomi. She just did a song with, I think, Bia or somebody. But she had sampled Aaliyah's beat.
Oh yeah.
And she goes, I didn't sample her beat. She's like, really don't even know who the hell Aaliyah is.
That's disrespectful.
So in reality, it was more like, you know how you subconsciously hear something? So in your mind, you subconsciously heard, okay, fuck it OJ, down the street.
Right.
And then you get in the studio and you're like, oh man, fuck it OJ, fuck it OJ.
Oh,
you don't know where
you know
it
where it
comes
came from, yeah.
And then you're like, this is mine. But in reality, no, subconsciously, you gotta know, you gotta reference back to the shit you
Right,
heard,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's what she did, and everybody was like chewing her out at the moment.
Good.
Yeah, she should.
Good, because it's one thing if you didn't like, hey, I didn't know, and then thinking, no, what are you talking about? Da, da, da.
Right.
That's the thing. So actually, I ran into a lot of entertainment lawyers when I used to work in Beverly Hills, and I think 1 to 2/3 of their lawsuits are copyright infringement.
Yep.
Are plagiarism. You
Yep.
know, and there's this thing called interpolations where even your flow, if it sounds too much like mine,
Yep, that's what
I
Chris
can
Brown
get
did.
you. I can
Chris
get
Brown
you.
just got, I think, sued for 1.5 million because you know that that he has that song "Privacy."
Mm-hmm.
When he said something about it's a get your shirt tucked. Like he sound like a Jamaican when he's singing it.
Yeah.
It's a Jamaican guy who actually
Yeah.
had that song. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Yeah.
he's like, oh hell yeah. He waited till the song got so big.
Yeah, that's what you do.
He waited till that Bad Boy is all over. He was like, you know what? I'll get the money off of that
Yeah,
now.
because you have plenty of time to sue. Just like how one of the biggest lawsuits in history, music-wise, is Marvin Gaye's camp sued Robin Thicke and Pharrell.
Yes, I seen that
3.1
one.
million.
Yes,
And
yes.
it does sound just like it. But do you know what that song's really about, though? The
No.
Marvin Gaye song?
What is it? Oh, sexual healing?
No, not the sexual healing.
No. Oh, what is it about?
To give it up.
Oh yeah. What is it about? Let us know. Let us know.
To give it up, literally.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Get that ass up.
But
Yeah.
yeah, unwillingly.
Oh wow.
Yeah, unwillingly.
Yeah, that's not
unwillingly.
cool.
Yeah.
So in reality, you know what? That's what is tripping me out because they say a lot of that stuff back in the day in those songs and the music.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of that stuff went on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we didn't have the surveillance we have now.
Exactly. So I'm saying to them like, hey, the songs really tell the truth. I mean, if
Yeah,
you
they don't
really
hide anything.
Listen to that stuff back in the day.
They really don't hide anything. As you know, as with art, I just think it shouldn't be hidden. If that's how you really feel, you know, you can call
Yep.
it what you want. Like slang has been slang since slang's been slang.
Right.
So of course you're gonna call certain things, but that's how we talk in the streets.
Yeah.
You know, but when it comes to like listening to music and I guess the trivia of it all, it's not trivial when you find out how they're really living their lives.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
I actually like the way they did it though back in the day because in reality they said what it meant, but it wasn't that as explicit as today.
Yeah, it's more explicit,
You know what
and
I'm
I feel
saying?
there's not as much creativity in just how they. It was poetry back then. It was poetry absolutely
you.
back then. I will give it that. But you know, looking at like the history of Motown, it is wild.
Right.
It's wild.
Look, David Ruffin, Otis, all y'all. Look, all
Ain't nobody coming to see
ain't
you,
nobody
Otis.
come see Otis. And that's a
Ain't nobody coming to see you.
that is everybody loves it.
I've
Ain't
seen
nobody
that
come see
movie
you, Otis.
every weekend
Yes.
for 10 years in a row.
So what's your favorite? Do you really like the Temptations more than the Five Heartbeats?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't.
Oh no! Don't get me started on Jackson's An American Dream.
Oh well, see,
The
but
ABC 7 special 5 days in a row.
See, oh well, damn, I didn't do
Boys
it 5
and Men
days
were in
a
that
row.
movie.
Yeah, look, I didn't do it 5 days in a row, but damn, I did do it.
It was a
I did do
it was a 5-night special.
And no, that was wait, that was what was the other one that was a 5-night special? No, it was like 3 or 4 night special, New Edition, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
on
Oh,
BET.
that
yeah.
was so fucking good.
Yes,
yo.
that was
I loved it. Did you watch
Yeah.
it?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance, but I
Yes.
got to see the trailer. It looked exciting.
It was really good. It was really good. I'm like, dang, they went through a lot, bro. I cannot believe what
They were
went through.
they were the NWA of boy bands.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
they
they
got.
were.
Look, they got fucked. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and then they actually had was Lou Pearlman their manager?
I'm not sure. I can't reference
So
back.
there's a guy that was a notorious boy band manager. He's dead now.
Okay.
It's funny because we were talking about scams earlier before you got here. So he was actually on American Greed.
Right.
And I knew all this before I even saw the show. I was like, does anybody else get into this stuff? Is it just me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I don't know if he was the same manager as them. Actually, he was scamming real estate first.
Okay.
And then the New Kids on the Block got a really bad deal too. Mm-hmm. But they had the same management as New Edition.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Who was it? It was just one guy. It was like her cousin or something like that.
it was out of control,
Yeah.
nonetheless. But the same guy, I don't know if it's the same person. I know he's dead though. He ended up mismanaging NSYNC and Backstreet Boys at the same time.
Yeah, they had a failed career as well. It sucked for them. I mean, I liked them as groups,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? But it was like, dang, where'd they go? Even for Britney Spears, like,
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother hour. I don't know if you have another special for
oh
that.
my God, that's like
I
a
did
whole-
watch the Hulu documentary. It was very, very insightful. I ran into Britney Spears twice.
Right. Is she
Yeah.
good? Because, I mean, I know she's
Oh no, on the
like-
street.
Okay.
I've never seen her in concert. No, I
Okay.
just ran into her twice in the street.
Yeah. Well, look,
Yeah.
well, was she mentally okay?
You know what? The thing about it, I think there's a lot of later in life people. Like I didn't know Mariah Carey suffered from bipolar disorder, and she went on TV and had a full-on meltdown not knowing that was her diagnosis. And plus, I had no idea she was in a horribly abusive relationship with Tommy Mottola.
Oh, hell yeah.
I did not know that.
That was
but
the
we're
story.
getting, she's crazy.
Yeah.
We're just getting, she's crazy.
Right.
So I remember when that happened with Britney Spears. You know, I was doing my own thing running through the streets of Hollywood, and I ran into her twice. Like, not to party with her, but I just saw her in the street. First of all, her security pushed me off the sidewalk, but then I saw it was her. I was like, oh, it's okay. And then these men were like 10 feet tall. Damn, they were so big. And then what I saw commence was just like, just a complete unraveling. More common than we think, just that she was front and center.
Right.
So the thing about Britney Spears is that I don't know her full diagnosis, but it can, I've been around some people that unfortunately suffer from bipolar depression and stuff like that, and she was in the wrong hands for a very long time.
Yep.
And then watching her Hulu documentary, I was completely enraged. I actually did a trivia night for my birthday right after watching that documentary, and I talked. My friend knows, she's like, "Girl, were you talking shit about Justin Timberlake being dead like the whole night?" I was like, "Yeah, you noticed?" Because they just ripped her apart as a woman.
Right.
There's actually I think it was Pepsi was sponsoring her at the time, and that was a big deal.
Yep, it was.
I think she was the second biggest to Cindy Crawford and Michael Jackson.
Because I think she did
that
a Super Bowl
big deal.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So she had a press conference, and somebody literally asked about her virginity at the press conference.
Yeah.
That is not appropriate.
Yeah.
She was still a teenager at that time.
Yeah.
And nobody said anything. They were actually laughing.
Yeah. But I mean, you know how it is in the industry. It seems like these Disney kids are the most seen example of it. Because if you go back to Raven-Symoné,
right?
You go down to what was the guy, Eddie? What was his name? I don't know his real name. I forgot.
The whole cast.
The whole entire
The whole
cast.
cast. The whole cast.
Because even the guy, what was his name? He was the heavyset kid. He was real funny in That's So Raven.
He just got busted.
He just got busted.
He just got busted.
I'm like, how the hell did you get busted? Like, everybody's going through that mental thing because I think
what? It was the girl's mom.
It was the girl's mom?
Yeah, he was smashing the girl's mom.
Jesus slippers. Jesus slippers. Wait a minute. He was smashing his girlfriend's mom?
It was like, all right, so
but
she was upset that he wasn't going to smash no more. He's a kid. He's still underage. Too.
Yeah, his name is Corey, right? Yeah. Corey.
Oh, Corey. Yeah.
Corey, not Holcomb. But
he had his own
Corey
show,
something.
too, after. He had a spinoff after.
Went on, and they made a full video, kind of just clearing his name.
Right.
And giving up the real story about what was going on.
Oh, wow.
A mess.
Well, I mean, shout out to you, man. Hopefully you get out.
A mess.
Like, that sucks, you know what I mean?
As far as I'm concerned, like, when it comes to, because somebody said, name somebody famous and I'll tell you what they did.
Okay.
And I became one of those people being that, like, I don't separate art from the artist. I can't do it anymore.
Right.
Like, especially when I hear Little Boozy and all that, or I don't even know his name. I just know that he needs some water and moisturizer.
He do all the time. His lips be dry.
I didn't know him and I were the same age.
Boozy lips be dry as hell. Y'all can say whatever, but his lips be dry as hell. He cool as hell, but his lips be dry.
But I can't listen to Wipe Me Down no more.
Yeah.
Because I know what he did to his sons.
Oh, you're talking about as far as the birthday thing when he get the strippers?
They were 12.
Yeah. I mean, but you know what? With some guys, I think Boosie actually been through that before. Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's what whenever I hear somebody, I think they're continuing a cycle.
Yeah.
That's what I see. That's where my compassion comes from. Because my compassion is like, I got this much left and I'm about to take it back to the store. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way I can come to terms with it, where it's a continuation of a previous cycle.
Right.
And it's so crazily, like, so normalized. That's the thing, too. If I tell you every day of your life since birth that the sky is orange, you're going to go outside and you're going to see that the sky is orange. You're going to see it.
Yeah.
That's how deep all that is when it comes to psych. People are like, Taylor's not that deep. I'm like, it's always that deep.
It is.
Because it is.
Do you have kids?
No.
Okay, see, me and you are the same. So I can walk in a room with people with children, and I can actually critique the fact that you're not doing your parenting right. Okay, in my whole head, you know what I mean? Some people be like, well, you have no kids, you don't be with them all the time. But I'm saying to myself, like, dude, have you guys learned that if you teach your children prior to releasing them to the world,
right,
they are going to mimic the things you taught them?
Yeah.
But if you do things around them their whole life and never explain to them what it is or why it is or how it is, then they're just going to mimic it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why you have some kids who come out here today and be like, oh, I gotta do this with my hands and my hair and everything like that. It's like they seen that somewhere before.
Right.
But if you would have corrected them,
Right.
and said, hey, this is a form of play. You know, this is not something that you use as an actual trait.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you mimic this as a part of your personality.
Right.
Don't do that. Mommy's just playing. You see what I'm saying? Don't take this outside of the house and make this a character. You know, but a lot of people don't know how to say that or don't have interaction with their children enough to even be like, oh, I see what the problem is. You get what I mean?
Right.
So when I do say something at certain times, you know, people have that, you know, all that face in there. And I'm like, dude, I took up psychology and I took up sociology. Mm-hmm. So it's like, really, it's the influential behavior, the environment you come from, and what the hell you process and learn. So at times I'd be looking at the parent like, you can say we don't have any kids, but, you know, you're damn near fucking up the mental, you know, if you don't start somewhere, because 1 through 5 is the most vital
years.
You know, years.
Yeah, it's very highly developed, like all the developmental. I can't
stages.
even say it.
Yeah, you're right.
The developmental
stages.
There you go.
You know
I thought
what I'm
that word was incorrect halfway out of my mouth, but I'm like, I just kept pushing it. So that's the word. Okay.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, especially as like a I'm almost 35-year-old woman,
mm-hmm.
is it's one of my least favorite questions because of what's imposed when you're asking.
Yeah.
Because I only and mostly get asked by that with people who have children too.
Yes.
And I'm just like, you know what? My mom told me, don't you bring no kids here.
Yeah.
You know, she wanted the farm. She wanted to bring, because she knows I'm going to leave them with her.
Yeah.
She knows.
She knew it. Look, shout out to our parents. Because my mom knew too.
My mom knows. She's like, don't you do that.
Uh-huh.
And then the thing about it too is also, it's just a full-on projection, and just like, this is the heteronormative experience, and I'll be damned, so should you, because all people that have children, I'm sure, are not happy that they do.
Right.
It can't be 100%. There's no way everybody across the board is. But another thing is, two, don't guilt and shame nobody for the decisions you made just because you're not having a good time doing it.
Right.
You know, and I know some parents that absolutely love their children. It doesn't mean you love them any less. But I've heard more people now than anything, especially on TikTok, say, I love my children, but I don't like being a parent.
Yep.
Which is totally understandable.
Yep.
Because, you know, I was a screamer. Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh, I would know I would scream about every little thing. The only way to calm me down was 2 ways. You either give me a banana or some string cheese.
Okay.
Oh, and when I don't know how my mom did this. Every Sunday night, she had to comb up my hair, and I was tender-headed.
Okay.
And I was already ready to scream. I was lock and loaded. You get that hair basket and that pink moisturizer. She had that string cheese ready because I was going to go off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So knowing how I was as a kid, it doesn't deter me from having children. I just don't think, just because I did that, nobody else is going to get it. These kids are still acting up. Because they're children.
Right. Exactly. And then that's why I say this to certain parents out there. I say, why are you get so mad at your kid when you can see yourself in them? They're just doing what you're doing.
See, introspection is not a vibe for a lot of people. There's some people that don't even want to know their astrology sign, let alone look at their trauma and look at their part in things, which I totally understand. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But let me tell you, I'm better off because of it. I did it.
Yes.
You know, having a painstaking process of looking at myself, which included going to therapy, and the hardest part, asking for help, is what got me to where I am now, to where I know when I'm acting up.
Right.
And I'm making the conscious decision too.
Yeah.
You know?
Same thing here.
Yeah.
Look, you sound like me. You're Aries. Look, I'm Aries. Look,
I'm a Pisces.
Look,
we're close enough. Yeah.
See,
close
now
enough.
that's the thing. You know what I mean? It's so funny because I did that too. I used to be really like a real angry person. You know what I mean? But it was like for no reason. You know what I mean? And I knew like, okay, what are you angry for? And I'm like, I can't even hardly remember what the fuck I'm angry about.
Don't put Crime Mob on. I'm gonna start swinging.
Look, knock if you right. Let's go. If you not look, some of these kids don't know. But at the end of the day, it's like I felt like I don't know. I think I was more of the I wanted to be isolated, but wanted to be wanted.
Oh yeah,
isn't that weird?
Yeah. That's
okay,
a thing.
So it was a thing when I was a kid. So I had a anger problem due to just wanting some type of attention, and then wanting to be by myself and not understanding how to deal with my own personal traumas, and just being aware of them at that time. So as I got older, it was just more like, dude, it's just you against the world. What the hell?
Yeah.
Are you going to grow up to have tantrums at this fucking age or what? You know? And so, like I said, when I took up psychology and sociology, I'm like, I love it, because sociology really taught me like where a lot of things stemmed from. so I can really have a conversation when they say, oh, you're diagnosed with that, you know, and due to psychology, I can know what they're diagnosed with.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then where it possibly stemmed from due to sociology.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So because of that, I like worked on myself. You know what I mean? And then I worked on myself enough to where I was able to just, hey, I've, you know, something happened to me before, so this is why that and that. So a lot of people today, I think they're walking around with secrets, you know, a lot of secrets that happened to them back in the day, traumas that they just afraid to get out because some of these people or things are still around them.
Yes.
You know, and they use, like you said, foods, and they use other people, and they use the fact that I have to work so much, or I have to do this, I have to do that.
To mask those things. I know people that fully addicted to work. They're Capricorns, and also
oh my god, hey mom.
But there's people, I know people that, you know, are living just for raising their children.
Yeah.
I know people that you know, that rise and grind fit because you don't have to. It's such a distraction.
Yeah.
Oh, the worst thing you could possibly, the worst thing that I feel like anybody could possibly do is trauma bond through finding a partner, particularly a lover, you know, putting romantic relationships above platonic and family relationships, of course. And then this person is co-signing every thought you have because you just need somebody else to tell you that, you know, they'll say, Matt, you're crazy. I don't really like saying crazy, but like if I think, a me against the world attitude, let me find somebody who has that me against the world attitude, and we'll Bonnie and Clyde this shit.
Right.
Horrible idea.
Yes.
Because then you guys are validating
each other's
I'm going to call it what it is. It's ignorance.
Yeah.
You're validating the fantasy that it's you against the world, and then you have angry fire babies too.
Yeah.
So now you and your man are mad, and now your fire babies are pissed.
Yeah.
And you know, it doesn't matter who's doing what because everybody's mad and they don't know what's going on. Everybody's screaming, and it's just like, well, you never stopped and paused for a second and looked at yourself.
Yep, and you can even go back to that and tie that all the way back to the beginning. Like you said, it's plugged into everything what you eat.
Yeah, yes, it is. It's what you eat. It's
environment.
Your environment. It's just like it's all very much relative in a sense that we consume with our eyes, our ears, our hearts, and our mind, body, and soul. And our skin is not a shield; it's a sponge.
Right.
And people don't know that.
Right.
The thing about it is, I did feel better once I stopped eating meat. I did feel better once I started consuming my own food.
Right.
I don't do it all the time. No, I would tear up some El Pollo Loco and some Chipotle and some Takis, like I said. But it is all relative. And the thing about it is, it's just like that, you know, that little recycle symbol. It's the same thing, in and out, in and out, in and out, self-sufficiency, repurposing. Are we robots? Are we automatons? Are we supposed to be cranking these things out and constantly be in the pursuit of self-realization and perfection? No. There's a lot of setbacks.
Right.
You know, what is success without adversity?
True.
You know, there's a lot of paradoxes when it comes to this process. And I think that's the thing. It's a very all or nothing, black and white society to where it's just like you just don't stop. You make every single dollar. If you're going to get in the gym 8 days a week, and you have to buy the whole package all up front. And on top of that, know what to do without asking for any help.
There you go. Hell no.
I know, hell no and how. Right? Because you said hell no.
Hell no. You're like, dude, where's the instructions at? Where's some direction?
Right. And then
people
people don't want to mentor anymore. Like, I tell people there's a difference between an old head and an OG. An OG is going to tell you something.
They are.
An old head's just been around for too long.
And been watching everything and just sucked up all the knowledge and ain't got shit to say to you.
Yeah.
You know?
They won't put you up on game because they act like they're the only one. And I grew up in an era where my parents were the first to go to go to college and so forth. And then they entered this, oh my God. Remember like the 80s yuppie office black era, like Eddie Murphy was a king of movies back then.
Yes.
And they were in these buildings with these business professionals.
Yes,
and let me tell you,
the Boomerang
it would
era.
be them. Boomerang's a very good movie, by the way.
Yes,
And that
it's so
soundtrack
great.
is, that soundtrack's
Amazing.
good.
Okay.
Or you remember Mo Money?
Yes. Oh my God. You mean Money Train? That's my shit. Look, we gotta go.
Stacey Dash was a whole baddie back then before she started talking all that crazy stuff. You know she's half Mexican?
And you know, Dame Dash is her.
Oh, they're related. Yeah, that's her cousin. That's her cousin.
Like, how are both of y'all? I can see the craziness within the family, but damn, you know what I'm saying? The radicalness.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense. But
shout out to Stacey. That should get better soon. Get better soon. You know, I mean, we still like you, but hey, I don't know.
But I remember being in these rooms with my parents, and my parents would bring me everywhere, and their coworkers would be like, "We don't want the kids around." But nonetheless, I remember it'd be them and another black person.
Yeah.
And it was always that black person like I see you.
Yeah.
I got you. There's only room for one of us. And I'm like, I noticed
We
that as
together.
a child.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't we were together. It was
Oh,
that
it
you
was-
gotta go.
Like you can't be the only one here. Well, I have to be the only one
Yeah,
here.
you got to go.
Yeah.
And my parents are like, what did we do?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, where's the food?
Huh?
You know what I'm
Look,
saying?
right? Just
Like-
be the kid there.
Like they'll be like, you got no, there can only be one of us.
Right.
You know? So I saw that and like that dog eat dog mentality, and then I realized where it happens the most. And you know, California's two biggest industries are medical and entertainment. And then like
Yes.
my immersion was straight into entertainment. I thought I belonged there. No, I don't know. Oh my God. So now I just end up 25 years later in agriculture. So that's
But
what I'm doing
agriculture
now.
is a good choice for you, even though like you put them together. I mean, like you said, for your commercials, I love the fact that you have a commercial out. You get people to understand and know. You know what I mean? Like, hey, get back into wealth, because health is wealth. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it is.
And you know, just thinking about it, like, because you weren't always a vegan, right?
No, it actually
Okay.
took me from 17 years old till 25 to get
Okay.
like consistent veganism.
So I know you felt, different in certain aspects and areas of your life, eating meat and
Yeah.
then opposed to eating just being a raw vegan. Are you raw vegan?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay, so you're just regular vegan.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I'm saying like, what was the change in your mental? Like,
I was going to bring that up. I actually worked at Vaughn's at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and they had $5 Friday where you can get a bucket of chicken for $5. And I was a critique on fried chicken.
Okay.
Okay, Popeyes is still the best franchise out there.
Okay.
But the best cold chicken came from Fig and Leaf in the Crenshaw Mall.
Okay.
Best cold chicken I've ever had. It's
Okay.
not intentionally cold, but you eat it straight out the fridge. I was a connoisseur,
Of chicken.
And plus I'm Creole, so it was really hard to give up all the gumbo and everything.
right.
But then I was on a break and I had like 10 minutes to eat. I got a bucket of chicken and I just tore it up. And I felt the chicken souls in my body. I don't know how to explain that.
I feel what
And then
you're
I got
saying.
really sick. Mm-hmm. And I'd done that many times before. Like, don't put a 10 piece in front of me.
Right.
It will be a 0 piece very soon.
Right.
And that's the thing. And I was just like, what's going on? And
Mm-hmm.
I felt like my skin was all gray. I was actually like, I'm like 220 now. I'm 220 pounds now, and I was 180 at the time, but I felt so heavy and logy.
Yep.
And I just felt really gross. And I just got into weightlifting. I was like, wait, this is the opposite. Like, this is the opposite of what I thought I would be feeling. So then I went directly into veganism. Like, I tried before in high school. It didn't really work out, so I did vegetarian.
Right.
I started eating meat again when I was 21. And then I got into veganism. And then since then, like, just... I started eating the chicken's eggs again, so technically I'm a vegetarian now.
Okay.
But since then, I just felt lighter than air.
Okay.
And I've had so many people walk up to me, especially at the club, and be like, "How are you so thick as a vegan?" And I'm like, there's a saying from the great Sir Mix-a-Lot that says, "Red beans and rice didn't miss her."
Okay.
And I'm not missing red
I
beans and rice, as you
fucking
can see.
That's a real shit.
You know, and that's the thing. It's just like I'm not missing out on anything.
I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
feel
miss no meals, yeah.
I'm not malnourished. You know, I'm one of the biggest eaters I know. Like, but nonetheless, I just don't feel like I'm missing anything. And the hardest part was I felt it leaving my body. It was a detox. It was a detox.
You detoxing.
It was awful. Oh, I would never do that again.
Yeah.
But once you have
Yeah.
real eggs, there's no going back on that either. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, I don't eat eggs. I don't really like
You
them
don't?
like that. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I just, you know what? I think it was the incubating process when we were in school. You know, when you actually put the egg in the incubator and it actually turns into a chicken. The chicken, you're like, oh my god,
Oh,
there's
okay.
something in
See,
there.
and then when we have
You
that
know?
real connection,
Yeah.
that's when we start to dismantle the belief
Yeah.
that this is how we should eat and what we should eat.
Yeah, because it was,
now.
I was.
Because it's packaged.
What was it? Elementary school. They had we was like, oh, we're gonna incubate it. I'm just going home. Mom, we're gonna incubate an egg. Yeah. And then I'm looking like, so at that time as a kid, you're like, you don't know what the hell that means. And you're like, oh, the shit is gonna crack. Oh, it's an actual chicken.
Yeah,
that
because
came
it's
out?
literally embryos.
You know, and
We're
I was
literally
like,
embryos.
oh, I
yeah.
can't eat it. I can't.
Yeah.
But on to a different type of topic. Okay, I know on some of the some plants have like aphrodisiacs and stuff like that. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Real things like that. So if you had a chance to use a plant or if you ate a plant that was like somewhat like an aphrodisiac, okay, and you were in your alone time, okay, what would your 3 important topics be that the
Wait.
aphrodisiac boosted up your?
I thought you were going to ask me what plants you should eat. Excuse me, ma'am.
No.
the topics.
What would be your 3-point topics that will
You
make
know
you
what?
just that aphrodisiac pop? You know what I mean?
Okay, can I at least lead with education first?
Totally.
Okay, men and women, just letting you know. If you're trying to conceive, what helps with the volume of the seed of the semen is actually L-carnitine.
Okay.
You can take L-carnitine, it actually helps with turning fat into energy, but it also helps with creating more volume when it comes to semen.
Okay.
And also, you're not supposed to be ejaculating on a regular basis because it's not good for the prostate. But if you need prostate health, you can do pumpkin seed or lycopene, which is found in tomatoes, especially in concentrated ketchup.
Dope.
So then when it comes to getting your place to the 3 topics, which we're going to talk about.
Oh, wait, before you say that, just to add on to what she said about that, women, if you guys are looking for a natural birth, a birth control or things like that, the actual papaya seeds, they're really good. You know what I mean? It's like a natural birth, like a birth control. So that's something else to put on there.
And we do have to say the disclaimer because we are not medical professionals. What we're saying is solely our opinion. If you do choose to take anything, you are doing at your own risk. And make sure that you do ask your physical doctor, your MD, your GP, if you're British, about taking any supplements before taking anything that is not part of your regular regimen.
Let's go.
Yeah, we're not trying to get sued.
We're not trying to get
we're
sued.
Not trying to get sued.
Look, disclaimer. All right, here we go.
Okay. So the 3 would be if you want just to aid in your libido, it's actually very strong. A teaspoon of maca root 1 to 3 times a day, no more than a tablespoon within a 3-day period, can actually help you like be the Kool-Aid man when plowing through walls. Maca root is really helpful for men and both women, and it also helps with muscular development.
Oh, perfect.
Next would be when it comes to male health and performance, horny goatweed. It's literally a plant. You can buy it by itself, and you can also take that as well. I already mentioned watermelon.
Yeah.
You can also do arginine. The thing about arginine is also a vasodilator, but anybody that's prone to cold sores or has that virus, because 1 in 4 people do have the herpes virus already, will get a breakout in cold sores. So please be mindful. But if you can't take arginine, you can do citrulline. And then lastly, for hormonal balance, you can actually do soy isoflavonoids.
Yeah.
To actually help with that too.
So what would you say that to guys out here though? Because soy has a estrogen type of base.
So actually, that is a myth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's different types of soy and how it's manipulated.
Okay.
In American agriculture, the top 2 crops now is if you're growing celery or asparagus, you're not going to make it. A lot of farmers are falling apart because of that. But if you're growing soybean or corn, because it can be so heavily manipulated, you can actually still have a prosperous farm. So the thing about soy is that it gets a lot of flack because of its manipulation, and also said that it can cause gynecomastia, which is a byproduct of too much estrogen in the body in a predominantly male body.
Exactly.
Male at birth body. We'll just say that because everybody produces the male and female hormone, just some more than others. There's some women that have more testosterone naturally than there are men, back and forth. There's some people with both. There's intersections of individuals as well. But when it comes to the estrogen and the gynecomastia, it's because you're producing too much testosterone. Too much testosterone in the body actually causes your estrogen to go up, which can turn into boobies. Now, does soy directly cause that? Not soy. That's not. So if soy is, you can take anything and manipulate it, right?
Right.
So a soy isoflavonoid is actually a derivative of soy, which will not cause gynecomastia.
And what products are that? What would you see in that? What products would you recommend for that?
Oh, it's just called soy isoflavonoid. You can actually buy it, manipulate it by yourself.
Okay.
That's the thing about vitamins and supplements. You can make them yourself.
Okay.
And the thing about it is, as well as once you learn certain parts of, by the way, the supplement industry is not regulated by the FDA, so you can put willy-nilly out there. And you can test positive taking certain pre-workouts. Just by the way, if you're on probation or on parole, you can test positive for certain pre-workouts because there are the same chemical as they say a same compound as methamphetamine. So I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah.
But when it comes to any products, soy isoflavonoids you can buy on its own. You can buy the bare basics, the raw product, the raw powder of anything. I would push a pre-workout if I was back deep in the fitness industry. I'm not. I walked away from it because it's super toxic, and I realized during coronavirus how toxic it's been.
Yeah.
But
everybody's done it.
for real.
Everybody's done it,
But
okay.
also, for female health too, for your urinary tract, because a lot of women do get BV.
Yes, they do.
Cranberry, pure cranberry.
Yeah.
Pure cranberry helps a lot with that too. But for the 3 topics, as you must know, I was really big into interracial for a long time. I was really big into, I'm Creole, by the way. A lot of people think I'm half white. I am not. Mariah Carey is, Alicia Keys is, Dave Jeter is, Drake is, if you must know. If you need to be around a half white, half black person, they're over there. Thank you. Because they just have to know what I am. What are you? Tell me now. You're not like the rest of them.
Right. It's like, right? That you get the same thing?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You don't sound.
You don't sound.
You
like
don't
them.
sound black.
Yeah.
I'm like, here's my mom, here's my dad, here's my grandma. They're like, oh.
Yeah, like, oh, you got a lot of black in you.
Yeah,
a whole lot.
yeah. And you ain't getting none in you for saying that.
Okay. Period. Okay.
Lately it's been boss.
Boss. Explain.
Boss, the
Hey,
power.
you guys.
Okay, there's another writer from a long time ago. Oscar Wilde. Have you heard of them? Okay.
Because I'm not really into porn like they are.
Okay, but Oscar Wilde's not from porn. It's actually he's a writer.
He's a writer? I was like,
I know his last name is Wilde though.
Yeah, okay.
But he has a phrase that says, be yourself because everybody else is taken.
Oh, I've heard of, okay. I've heard a quote. Okay,
yeah,
before, but I don't know who he is.
Yeah, he's a writer. He's a Wilde.
Okay, yeah.
He used to host parties back in the day, but just full-on orgies back in the day.
Okay.
And you have to be a good host to do those.
Right.
You do.
Right.
Girl, how much about me you want to know?
Everything.
Oh my God. My coworkers are like, that's just her on a regular day.
Look, lay it on the table.
Another table. Boss, because it was just like, it's such a, Oscar Wilde said, sex is not about sex. It's about power. Mm-hmm. It's about power. And you can, that connects to all types, it's about power. There's people that make a living off that power. Yes, they leverage that power. Yes. They leverage the power of not the act themselves, but the
actual feeling.
Yeah, the feelings, yeah. So boss at work has been another topic of mine. Outdoor voyeurism.
You know what? That was my first porn that I seen when I was a kid. You pop your mom's or your dad's tapes in, or your aunties or somebody's tape.
My God.
And then they're all in the woods and shit.
Okay, why does everybody's parents have such bad taste?
They just have it terrible.
It's
taste.
so
I think
bad.
those were the movies back in the day that they could only buy. I think that was the only ones they can buy. Because
they couldn't afford Ron Jeremy and they couldn't afford John Holmes.
I don't think so.
Because
Ron Jeremy, some of them weren't really into that.
His was gross though.
Yeah,
his was disgusting. I remember he was in like certain movies in the 90s and I'm like, who's this Ron Jeremy guy? I looked it up as a kid. I was like, oh my God.
He's not a very attractive guy.
No, he's not. He's a taxi driver.
Yeah, so it's like
he looks like he drives taxis.
Yeah, and it's like any of these socks you got on, like
oh my goodness.
Yeah, I didn't really like.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I met him in person though, but he was pretty cool.
Yeah, I heard he's nice.
Rainbow's bar in
Rainbow, bar Sunset Strip.
Yep, and he was pretty cool. He's there all the time. He's cool, but that was just gross. But I mean, I just remember that just like being in like the 90s,
But not the woods and not the park because that's disgusting.
I mean, that's what I seen. The ones in the woods, they got blankets, they little sheets and shit. I'm like, okay, check that out.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, I learned that whatever we see with our eyes play like a trick on us, saying that we're actually there. That's why these movies work. So the thing about it, I was looking at because people will talk about how they would never do that in real life, and I'm like, yeah, you would. If you got a chance, you would, or you're not bold enough to do it. So my top 3 topics have been the same top 3 for years because I've done all of that. I've done all that. I did not go to prison over any of that, thank God. But
that was it.
So
we had Boss, we had the Outside, and what was it?
Interracial.
And Interracial. Yeah, that's dope. I mean, I like your topic
But the black person always has to be in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that other stuff around.
I just see this shit on the internet. Did y'all just see that shit on the internet with the wedding pictures with the white woman?
Oh, in the cornfields?
Girl. We gonna end the damn show on that.
No, hold on.
Look.
There was a bunch of Instagram pages that started following me randomly. There are biracial only dating sites that wanted me to be a part of their stuff. I'm like, black for white only.
Wow.
And I was like, if you don't get this bullshit off my Instagram.
Look
and there's
created.
dating sites. There's dating sites for everything.
Wow.
It's scary. Like, because they want their babies to have certain type of hair. They want da-da-da-da. And I was like, what a sham.
That's what it is.
You guys ought to be ashamed of yourselves.
And
all of you.
Everybody who want their baby hair curly and all that shit like that.
Don't forget you have to comb it out.
You don't know what to do with that shit.
Don't do your baby I will call the police if you don't comb that baby's hair.
Yes.
You need to learn. If you're going to do black hair, you need to learn how to do it. That is not okay.
Do it.
Don't put no Just For Me on her head either. Burn her bald.
Look,
don't do that.
Period. Don't put no relaxers on there. Please
do not do that. That is not fair.
Like we said, once again, tell these people where they can find you, where they can follow you out, where they can get connected with you, or even buy some products if they wanted to.
Yes. So if you want to follow me, you can follow me. I'm actually on TikTok as well as TaylorLindsay323. I have a website, plantpluglosangeles.com. I'm most popular and most active on Instagram, so I'm the Plant Plug LA. There's only one Plant Plug, by the way, and it's going to be me. It's 3 little emojis. And also, you can catch me on YouTube, Plant Plug Los Angeles. Google me. I get to say that now.
Okay, now tell them where they can buy some of the products. Do you have a Cash App or anything like that?
Yeah, so my Cash App is PlantPlug87. My Venmo is PlantPlugLA87. If anybody needs any plants, I do deliver within Los Angeles, within a 5-mile radius of Florence and Vermont. I also do pop-ups all over the city. Actually, you can catch me this weekend at Network and Chill up in Compton. It's my first time with them. It's always a party when they have a little event, a little pop-up. Black people putting on other black people. Can you believe it?
Let's go.
You know, enterprise, make equity equitable. So I will be at that event. And then I also do at a black-owned coffee shop on 74th in Vermont, third Saturday every month, plant-based Saturdays. Black-owned coffee shop, no colonizer coffee. Everything's from South America or Africa. So you can check me out on Instagram to stay up to date with all the events that I'm going to be a part of. And I appreciate y'all for having me. Thank you.
That is so.
I have a gift.
Oh, yeah, I get something exclusive, y'all.
Mad exclusive.
I'm getting the exclusive. Like I told y'all, I always get the exclusive, okay?
So exclusive. Nobody else has this.
Let's see what
Hot
this
off the
is.
presses. I don't even make merchandise
this
anymore.
Is dope.
I don't even make merchandise anymore. That's for you.
Look, you guys, I got my plant plug bag, okay?
Yeah.
It is dope. I will be using this and I will be showing
You
it
got to
off.
read the bottom. Yeah,
Let's read it. Let's open it first.
Yeah. Well,
Let's
you know,
see.
you can carry your little garden tools in it. You can carry your fruits and vegetables at the farmer's market.
Yes.
You can put a dog in it. I don't know.
Put a dog in it. And I have a dog.
That's a very LA thing, by the way. Take your dog everywhere you go.
The plant plug. Plug into community, fresh food family. That's dope.
That's what it is. With the military font. What's good? 'Cause we mean business.
That's dope, you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Like I said, once again, we had Taylor on the show, the Plant Plug LA. If you guys ever want to reach out to her, she gave you all of her tags, so make sure you keep in contact. And once again, thank you guys for tuning in to Speak on It, Chop It Up Barbershop Talk, home of real talk and expressive conversation where we talk about what we want, when we want, and how we want. And we'll see you guys next week, every Monday on YouTube. Yes, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and stay tuned with your girl, Annie B. What's Your Fade is the actual website. And What's Your Fade is where you can find me on all platforms. www.whatsyourfade.com. See you next week.
My name is Taylor. I go by Taylor Lindsay as well. I also go by the Plant Plug or the Plug if it's easier for you. I sell plants and plant accessories.
What's up?
I got you. Let's see. Woo. I got some sweet basil for you. That's for you. I got your favorite hibachi squash. Gotta make sure it's right for this. I'm trying to jump out the pot. I'm so excited.
I'm waiting for this.
I got a little tiger for you right there. Smaller starter seedling plants. So I focus on the low maintenance, but my biggest push is on plant education and also historical tie-ins. Whatever I sell to people as a nursery or as the plug, I've had experience with on myself. The Plant Plug started in 2019 as a passion project. I was growing a couple plants here and there. There's a big change, and I got into the desire to grow more to see how much one person can produce. I went from producing maybe 5 plants, mostly kale, to doing about almost 100 by myself. So the whole back porch, the whole driveway, completely took it over. Went from doing 100 plants to 1,000 plants in a year. Hey, it might be 10,000 next year, you know what I'm saying? Who knows, on the plug, I'm always gonna have something on deck. So that's how it happened. So Instagram, DM me, and that's it. And I usually have on hand the menus that I have available, and I'm going to feature very soon appointment only in-house buying. So you can just come like you would any other nursery and just see what I have, and you can just buy right then and there. And sometimes when you show up, you get a free plant. Plant Plug. You can follow me at Plant Plug, the Plant Plug on Instagram, the Plant Plug, no underscore LA. Plants on plants for the people, by the people. Plug into people, plug into fresh produce at your house, and plug into the community. Let's go.